And there's lots of speculation. There's tons of rumors.
Right.
I assume that your report is coming from probably the most credible source.
Absolutely. Just the facts. I'm not even going to qualify any of the rumors.
I'll bring up the rumors.
Yes, you bring up the rumors and I'll do the facts.
Right.
Lots of news today, like Carson said. First off, as we reported last night, Backstreet Boy Nick Carter indeed was arrested in Tampa, Florida, early Wednesday.
Oh, it gets better.
All right, you want to know what he was arrested for, right? He refused to follow police orders to leave a nightclub following an unrelated fight. So, an unrelated fight. Now, Nick says that he did nothing wrong and that his arrest was a result of simply moving too slow and that celebrity motivated the officer to arrest him. Now, apparently, officers saw Nick involved in a loud argument with a woman at the club, and when he was asked to quiet down and leave more than 10 times, well, that's when he was arrested. Now, if Nick is convicted, he could spend up to a year in jail and get a $500 fine. I know. It's not that bad.
Could you imagine Nick?
It's not that
Well,
bad.
could you imagine Nick Carter a year in jail? He wouldn't last a day in jail. I mean, honestly. And that's nothing against. I would last 2 days.
Right,
maybe.
I would last an
I
hour.
would go for mine, but I would get. Be in trouble.
Absolutely, but you know what? It's not as bad as it sounds.
Like
it's
he's gonna go to jail.
He didn't kill
not.
kittens. He just got into some sort of a little argument. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
He's allowed to do that. Well, on to more news on a happy
morning after allegedly ignoring police orders to leave the premises following a fight in which Carter was not involved. Police were summoned to the Pop City Club at around 3:20 a.m. to break up the fight, and they arrested the 5 people who were involved in it. They say they then noticed Carter engaged in a loud argument with an unidentified woman, and after telling him to quiet down and clear out more than 10 times, they arrested him. Carter says he was simply moving too slow for the police and feels that he was arrested because he's famous. He was charged with a misdemeanor count of resisting a law enforcement officer without violence and was released on his own recognizance. The maximum possible sentence is a year in jail and a $500 fine. Carter is due in court on March 4th. That's the news for now. Stay tuned for more at 10 to the hour here on MTV.
circulating, and Nick is actually on the phone with us today, speaking out for the very first time about this. Nick, are you there? Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Hi. Yeah, right. Someone said, way to go. We're behind you here, but tell us exactly what happened that night.
Well, for logistic reasons, I can't get, too into it, You know why. But basically, I mean, I could tell you that, I did not do anything wrong, and I know that for a fact. And, sometimes things get, blown out of proportion, as everybody knows. But, if I disrespected a cop in any way, I apologize, and I didn't mean to do anything at all.
Right.
And people who know me, they know I'm not, they know I'm not a bad person.
Right.
So I know better.
Can you speak about any of the details? I mean, I've heard from police that there was a fight there, and police were brought out, and then that you were arguing with a woman at the club, and that's when you got arrested. I know there's so many things going on. Can you clear up any of that for us?
Well, there was, things happen at clubs sometimes, people get in fights and stuff, but
Right.
I wasn't involved in the fight at all.
Right.
But basically, like I said, things get blown out of proportion for, no reason at all, and I guess I kind of was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Is it because you released in a statement, which was really interesting, the day after, about that you thought that your celebrity had something to do with the arrest, that it's Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys, so they're going to make a bigger deal of it than they would if it was just, some ordinary person. Is that...
Well, it could be. Who knows,
Yeah.
But, like I said, and I say it again, I'm not the kind of person that gets in trouble. I don't like to get in trouble.
Right. Sort of shy.
But I don't proclaim to be, perfect, and that's what we've always said.
And that must be really difficult for you, because I think that, being in the public eye, it's very difficult to have a very private life, and especially when something like this happens and your fans are kind of looking up to you. How do you deal with that?
Well, it shocked the heck out of me, because I was, what happened was all of a sudden, the arrest, when the arrest happened, they let me go off site. I never even went to jail.
Oh, okay.
I never even went to jail. It was just on site, and it was just like, it was kind of like a miscommunication in some ways, or misunderstanding.
Right.
So, but it shocked me because it before I knew it, it was all over MTV. I'm like, what the heck,
We got it there first or something. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, MTV, you definitely hear it first.
Just rushed right to it. Now, you said that you didn't get arrested, so there was no, I mean, there was talk about you getting handcuffed and, like, going to this, you know, to a cell maybe even.
No.
I mean, was it like that at all? No, not at all. It was
not
pretty.
at all.
Now, what happens next, sort of like legally? Both that as well as, does this affect you going into the studio for your next album?
No, it doesn't affect me at all. I mean, you know, I'm from Tampa, actually. You know, everybody knows I was raised there, and I, you know, the people of Tampa, they understand and everything. I think everything's going to work itself out, and you know, the boys and us, we're going to go back in the studio, and we're gonna keep doing our thing.
Right. And I got to ask. I mean, you've talked to the band, obviously. What was that conversation like, and who was the first person that you did speak with?
What, with the other guys?
Yeah.
Well, they called up, and they knew it was blown out of proportion. I got a call from Kevin. He was like, what happened, little bro? He left a message because he was up in the mountains. I'm like, right. So I called him back and left this big message and told him basically what happened. But, I mean, again, you know, unfortunately, you know, this is the kind of stuff that happens sometimes. But I mean, just to let everybody know, you know, I ain't a bad person. I've never been in trouble my whole life. You know, I was basically in tears almost.
Right, it's sort of blown out of proportion. Oh, Nick, you know what? Sort of on a side note, I heard, and I want you to clarify for this. Are you working on a solo project? I heard that you might be going to the studio by yourself. I don't know. I'm just trying to clear everything up all at once, you know?
Oh, getting juicy.
Yeah, very juicy. Hear it first here on MTV News.
Yeah. No, we'll see what we're going to do. I think all of us were talking about, you know, maybe individually doing some stuff. But I think always, you know, the main concern is with the group right now. But we're talking about it. I mean, I'm not going to, you know, dismiss it and, you know, tell me that it's not going to happen. But I'm saying that, you know, everything has to go through me and the four other guys.
Very cool.
So if there's any rumors of us breaking up or anything, it ain't happening. So, you know, don't get excited.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Wait. Can I jump in here?
Yeah,
What's up, Nick? It's Carson.
What's up, Don?
Let me just congratulate you on this thing that happened. I think it's very cool that it happened to you. You're in the Backstreet Boys. Wait a second. This inevitably will be a great thing for your career. I've been busted in strip clubs. We're men. That's what we do. All right? Don't worry about all this crap. And right now on live TV, I would like to make an attempt to guess the liquor that you got all drunk on.
Oh, my goodness.
Help me out, though. You said you weren't in the fight, so that rules out all the brown liquors like Jack and Jim Beam, and probably Jaeger. Did you expose yourself? Was that true or not?
Oh, see, that's another thing that came out, and come on, dude, you know what? I mean, and that was like, I was like, you know, this just came out of the blue, and then people started talking about it on the radio station down there, and then I guess some girl got on there and was like talking a bunch of junk, and I was like, what?
Well, I'm upset to hear about that. That would have been a nice addition to the story. So that rules out tequila. I'm gonna go with if you had like a good 14 to 16 beers that night, and we're a little out of your mind. Is that true?
No comment.
All right, that's nice. Listen, ultimately, don't worry about it. I think it's a great thing.
Like I said, I'm not the kind of person that goes overboard on anything, and I'm not a bad guy.
You went overboard that night, Nick.
I'm not like
you did. It's all right,
Carson,
though.
Okay?
It's okay. This is the time in our life. You're successful. You've been in one of the most successful pop groups in the world. You're a mature man. You're of age. You're allowed to drink. You didn't hurt anybody. You're a celebrity. They were busting your balls. Everything's okay. You'll go back. It's not that big of a deal. So congratulations to you and men like you all over the country. Thank you, Nick.
All right, well, you take care of yourself, and don't scream too loud.
All right. Later on. I feel better. Sorry, Susan. I had to get that off my chest.
Of course you did.
All right, let's watch the Backstreet Boys. Here's Drowning. It's video number 2 on TRL.